This is your boy Jeremiah Knight here for Therapy House, and we got a guest here.
Yo, guest, housemate. Yeah, man, it's your boy JR, Jeremy, catching up on this Therapy House podcast that we initially rolled out almost over a year ago.
A year ago.
So we've been on the hush-hush about it. Boy, Maya put it all together. Boy needs a Grammy for all these things that he's been doing.
Yeah, man. All that changing your audios. Listen to you guys talk about the same stuff over and over as I edit. Try to make you guys look and sound handsomely.
I mean,
man,
I want to say attitude reflects leadership, you know, and you taking on that leadership role. So that's it.
Hey,
but
man. Leading the
yeah,
pack.
man, it's good to be back and get this rolled out.
Exactly.
Everybody's back. Team is back. And see where we go from here.
Just happy to be in one place. But like you said, it's been a year. A year has passed. And we're doing these kind of little clips, short bites, just to see where everybody's at, get people to familiarize who you are and what's changed since a year ago. I mean, one, off the top, me and Jeremy, we live together. So we can't lie. We're no longer in J House.
Yeah,
It's
man.
one of the biggest changes.
That's where it started. Big shift. And where we live, too much space and too hot.
Too hot.
I think that's what the end result was. But yeah, man, we started there and then we came over to this new palace. It's dope. Maya and myself been here since April, making it work, man.
Making it work. You know, ever since John moved out, we had to just get rid of the house. You know, he just left too much hair, too many of his hats. It's just, you know what? We got to just throw it all the way out.
It's
and just
one of those classics you can't hold on to. You know, it's just you're a hoarder for so long, and you got to come to terms. You just got to let it go.
Exactly. But
when we left,
man.
I remember my John and Lou and those boys and Jorge was like, "Yo, we're not at the house anymore, man." It's like, no, I mean, people move on.
Yeah, things change.
Things change. So, but the house meant a lot to everybody. You know, that house was within the group, for I want to say 3 to 4 years.
3 to 4 years.
So, yeah, man.
Yeah, it was tough letting it go. We lost our deposit, so did not enjoy that piece. I wish the memories were a little bit nicer to the rugs and the walls, but you know.
I feel like that's like a wear and tear, just like a car on wear and tear on cars. Like, it's just things you're gonna need to replace.
Mm-hmm.
Don't understand why old man just didn't want to replace it.
It is what it is.
But you know, he is the landlord and decide what he decided. So we had these are deposits. The only how much we got back?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not as much as we put down.
Exactly. But yeah, what else has changed? What's been going on with Jeremy? What's new with Jeremy after a year?
JR Hova. He used to call me Hova, FYI.
Oh shit. Back
in Staten Island. So I was still working at the county, San Mateo, when we was doing the podcast up until I want to say March. But at the end of March, I moved on to another place that helps refugees. So it's similar in space and career counseling, but my population is different. Primarily focused on refugees coming from Afghanistan and Ukraine. So as you can imagine, just coming here from the PTSD that they're dealing with, you got your own issues in terms of getting the proper documents, finding the proper housing,
right? And
then you also got to find these families a job. You know, so the way the county is set up, they got them going for 9 months before in the program. So it's like you got to get going, and everything is fast. Everything's get them in, get them out kind of thing, sad to say. But it presents its own challenges. Not a lot of it was ever looked at on the holistic front, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's good knowledge, good information to get into. Now, again, an area that I never dealt with. So along with the career piece, you deal with a lot of how are you as a person and how do you manage this? How are you coming into a new country?
Right.
In California, in the Bay, and it's expensive. And how are you going to make your way where back in your home country, you might have had the righteous life. We've dealt with a lot of families that way, and you know, we just try to humble them and let them know, like, listen, unfortunately, this is where we're at, and to get you on your feet, this is step one. And I can only do so much. It's in my hands and my grip, and just kind of set them on their way. But deal with a lot of pushback on certain things.
Right.
So
So how you been dealing with that? At least the learning curve of it, because I mean, this is a whole new. It's not. I mean, it's still like career development, career somewhat rehabilitation, but the whole with a new aspect, a new factor in which you kind of have to be mindful
Oh
of
man,
country and.
how do I deal with it? Hmm. You do get like clients who are open-minded about a lot, which is good, right? But then you got your certain batch that just wants to cause you to the ruckus. You know, they want to give you the roundabout about things and kind of that entitlement. A lot of these clients that come over have a prestige about their careers. I was a doctor, I was the lawyer, and I was a professor. So they carry this boisterous kind of walk with them no matter what. Like wherever I
Presence,
go, you need to
role,
know who I was or who I am.
status, yeah.
And the best part I think about this is being a male myself. There's not a lot of male. There's only 2 males in the whole agency I work at, compared to like let's just say 50 women. So a lot of these clients who have these boisterous walk are talking to women. So depending on the culture, like you have to acknowledge the guy, and the guy is King Tut, and it's like, you know, worshiping the ground he walks on. But when I come in, it's a whole different attitude. It's a whole different like approach.
Right.
So I could see that real quick, and I can see them posture down a bit to know, like, listen, no, this is how it's gonna go. You know, this is how we're gonna help in this particular space, and you have to communicate with me because I have to help you find a job. So whatever you say there is not gonna trickle over here because I'm not gonna accept it. So how do I deal with it? You know, I just deal with it head on.
Yeah.
I'm transparent with a lot of my clients. But being that it's a new space, there is a lot of resources out there that I, again, didn't know about, that I'm on emails on, listservs, and they're like, hey, sign up for this, sign up for that. So the more I get involved with, the more I can know, the more I can tell them. And just kind of go day by day and just see what's next, you know?
Yeah, so at least for the most part, then being able to know wherever they may come from, still what angle that may be coming up, whether posturing or not, and still being able to meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
Bring them back down to a place where you can talk to them frankly and have an exchange. And it seems like in the meantime, you're still also kind of building resources, getting to know the population, talking to people. At least I'm guessing you're well trained.
Yeah, well, the thing is that I brought in experience, but where I'm at, they don't have enough experienced people to really bring me under their wing.
Yeah.
Because again, the career services side of where I'm at wasn't really taken off.
Yeah.
And the person I came under initially had left 2 months into me being there.
Right.
So it was just kind of wacky and just like all over the place. But you got to take in mind that the bulk of this program was developed throughout COVID, right before COVID hit. And within weeks, everything shut down. And so this program never got on its feet. And then the director at the time, what I was told, just didn't delegate responsibility. So she took over all the responsibilities. And then when she left, nobody knew
what to do.
It was just like, where's the reports? Where's this information? Where's that? Everything was kept within her office, like even the files on the clients. So like she had complete access to primarily what you need to show the county,
right,
for audits and all that. But there was just no training. So when I came in, it's like kind of catching up to speed. Because when I came in, there were 2 audits within a month. You know, so I couldn't even do my job because I was preparing for audits, and in those preparations, I'm catching up on loose papers that wasn't even put in files.
Right.
So it was kind of a mess. But I like to think things are settling down for myself. I'm having more and one-on-one with my direct supervisor, and she's providing me resources too. So she's just super dope and super helpful.
Nice. Making the most of the best situation. So what else? What else is tickling your fancy? I know you dabbling in a couple other things.
Yeah, so back in, I want to say March, I was kind of poached out of LinkedIn about a Voc Rehab consulting group. And it's another side of Voc Rehab that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
So this side is more primarily focused on workers' comp, right? So, for instance, let's just say you're an electrician, and on the job you get hurt, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm filing a workers' comp case. They don't want to pay. Now you get a lawyer, you go to court, whatever. Your lawyer, to really beef up your case, because you're claiming an injury and you're claiming 100% loss of your wages, you can't go back to what you were doing. and you might not be a good fit to do anything else because of your
Right.
injuries, right? You go through a voc rehab assessment, you see a qualified medical examiner.
Right.
And in that, they examine you physically. They do a functionality test, what you can do, sit, squat, right, grip, and everything. So that whole report comes out. So that report gets sent. The lawyer will reach out to someone like myself and say, hey, I have this case. Can you, in your voc rehab expertise opinion, can you come to the conclusion similar to what the QME is saying, the medical examiner?
Right.
And if this person's saying that the client can go to work, then it can work. You kind of make your own assumption.
Yeah. You make the call.
If they can't go to work, you make that clue, right? So it's a side that focuses more on the court side, because you can be for the attorney, for the client, or you can be for the defense.
Right.
Right. So it's a matter of which stance and who reaches out to you and what you accept. But again, it's just another area that I never knew about, because I was more focused with county resources and helping homeless, mental health, those coming out of jail. Right. So that was another set of population. But this is a whole other side. I like to think of it like with the county, I was working with my heart. At the consultant dabbling thing, I'm working more with my mind, because I'm not interacting with clients. I'm interacting with the reports, and it's very black and white. Either you can or you cannot.
Right.
Right. So it's very straightforward. Can this person go back to work? Here is your eval. Here's your report. Or can this person cannot go back to work? Right. So you got to do the same thing. So it's very interesting, because you see a lot of cases and what people get injured about, kind of jobs that they may be eligible for, what they may not be eligible for.
Right.
So it's a whole can of worms with that, and it's pretty dope.
Nice. Okay. Because, yeah, it sounds like you're dealing with less abstract stuff. It's more...
Yeah. And then, shortly after that, at the beginning of the year, I want to say I just kind of had a goal of just taking on a whole new atmosphere and therapy. Something more relatable, I want to say, to the group, because voc rehab is more at the tail end of therapy. But to kind of divulge and be immersed in therapy, I enrolled in a MSW licensed track program at the University of Kentucky online.
Whoop, whoop. Go Wildcat.
Yeah, man, Wildcats. I watch college basketball, so I've always looked into them. They have a great program, and so far so good. Very, I want to say very collaborative. Like the whole Canvas system is what they use. The software is very interactive, very integrated with the coursework, curriculum setup. So, yeah, man, it's very straightforward.
Yeah.
And it's been going, very good so far. So, hopefully, if I continue taking 2 classes a semester in the summer, fall 2025 will be the end date.
Oh, man. So we got to stay tuned.
3 years.
Dr. Ramos added another degree.
Yeah, man. I just kind of thought like another way to kind of get me into higher education, as a LCSW is my goal. But that probably won't take 2 years, like another 3 years after that. So 2028, 2029, like who knows?
Hey.
But who's counting?
Hey, you might have another degree after that. So hey, who knows, man? You might go to Oregon or something. But okay. But listeners just tuning in, just followed up, just finished your episode on job rehabilitation. Do you feel like there's anything that you felt like, wish I should have said more on this? Anything that you felt like you wanted to add, or man, any gems you want to drop now that you know?
Well, I would say, I don't know. I think I covered everything the first time around with voc rehab, but I would just like to just let everyone know that there are resources out there for those in specific county benefits, county resources that they can get into. That if you know somebody who needs help, definitely look at your local resources, local area to get those resources and see what's available. Because if it had not been for voc rehab, I don't think I would have continued into this voc rehab consultant dabbling what I'm doing now. I'm a big supporter of second chances, and for those that are vulnerable populations and that definitely need a second chance to get on their feet, it's a perfect way to kind of set them up. Because in voc rehab, they have work assessment programs, and what that is for someone who's eligible can go into the program, kind of be in a work environment and get assessed to see where their strengths, where their weaknesses are, where they need to improve. Can they build on their social skills, etc.? There are resources out there, so for any of you who might know somebody who's in need, definitely try to refer them over and get them set up to talk to a voc rehab specialist, county worker, to get them enrolled. But Other than that, nah, man. I mean, I'm just grateful that there are options out there. Like, man, everyone needs help in different ways, you know. And so, what I thought I contributed into the Therapy House podcast was, I guess I mentioned earlier, like my work was at the tail end of it all. You know, you guys were more at the front end and in the middle to really kind of gauge how severe it might be and how you can manage through, prevent anything, and so if they made it through, I'm there now. How can I help them get them back on their feet while they maintain that mental?
Exactly. Because I think even in the conversation that you had, I think you even proposed the suggestion of like whether job rehabilitation should be something that should be considered or expected more from therapists in therapy. I mean, with me, like with my LPCC track, we received education on career development, on helping people kind of figure out what kind of best fit jobs, some assessments or things that we could do to help them figure out or find ways. But other than that, outside of, yeah, a lot of pet therapists don't hold that same, at least job rehabilitation, preparing clients for occupational experiences, not so much. We usually just push that off. And
I
so
hold it as the same regard as what you do.
yeah. And so I can see a lot of clinicians being a little insecure about that. I might be generalizing, but it is definitely tough to sit here and, you know, not have the resources or not know where to start, or kind of just be able to sit back and just like, well, I'm only responsible for saying, wow, how does that make you feel? And then how would we build awareness around that? Kind of pushing them to like go find the answers themselves, or inklings where they start. So for you, you're saying, hey, in therapy, if you're a therapist, social worker, whatsoever that is working with the client, if you would like to take on that responsibility more, we should just, is there direct them back to the county, or and have like go through their job listings, or how would you recommend therapists kind of direct their clients?
Well, I would say first you meet the client where they are, right? And I don't know how actual therapy session might work, but let's just say if this were the case, you know, a clinician might go over this person's work. What do you do, right? Who do you live with? Are you dating? Are you married? Whatever, like the whole personal background info. Yeah. So from that, you can really gauge if this person is struggling, you know, at the workforce. Like, what if someone is struggling with their mental capacity? The work is probably depleting too, right? Mm-hmm. Or if they're in need of some additional funds, let's just say they're eligible for something, you can look for, again, county resources to see, hey, this is something that you might be able to be eligible for. How about you look into that? But it really is what is it that this person needs? Mm-hmm. So if you figure out what they need, then you can narrow down your search and be like, okay, this is the best route to go into. However, I would also say get involved within the community and resource. So going out there and learning about what resources are available. Right. So I know not too long ago when I joined this agency, they immediately had a international type of event at the San Jose City Hall. Mm-hmm. And from there, you got to see other agencies around the county for one reason or another, but they were there promoting their own agency. So kind of stepping out, learning about what resources are happening within City Hall or within the city and the county can definitely help kind of bridge the gap into what you don't know and how you can help your clients get there.
Now's the big question. I try to prep you up on it and everything. As you know, producer, editor, listened to your podcast several times. Sometimes the audio wasn't so hot, so I had to listen to it a few extra times than the other ones. And one thing that did keep popping up and that made me think enough to write it down was the fact that your profession or career was just way different than ours, in the sense that whether our clients did not follow through on what they talked about in session, whether they decided to self-harm or whether to do other maladaptive exercises, opportunities, what they decided to do or what they chose to do outside the session didn't affect us, and we weren't responsible for their change or their choices, which is how therapy is, and that's fine. A lot of people take that to heart. A lot of people feel overly responsible for their clients, but in a sense, once they reach the point of, you know what they do from here is for them, it's fine. Mm-hmm. Your profession, on the other hand, has a particular pressure on you getting results, your clients having success, and if it doesn't, then it looks bad on you, or they're for sure, not figuratively, actually has consequences on you, or at least your work?
Yeah, I mean, great question, because at this point, I don't know if it doesn't have consequences at the moment, right?
Yeah.
I came in towards the tail end of the fiscal year. So when numbers were presented to me from the, like, not even from county, it was from my supervisor. She told me that, listen, oh, by the way, we got numbers to meet every year. I was like, oh, great. But I would like to say my previous experience with county work and the state work has prepared me to create an Excel sheet with everyone who is hired.
Right.
That way, and in case of an audit, they want to know a number, I got a number right there and there. Right then and there. So anyway, but yeah, there is pressure. I try not to think of it like pressure though, because I don't want to overwhelm myself with needing to get 5-6 people hired a month. Right. That's what equates out to. Right. It's the end goal is 66 a year. Right. Divide that by 12, 5 to 6 a month. So it's like, how am I going to divvy it out? I can't always get 6 a month. I might have months that are 10, 12, months that are 1 or 2 or 0, right? So for me, it's not so much of pressuring myself. I want to see the program do well, so I'll do my very best to get it that way. But yeah, I mean, now there is pressure, especially with this new fiscal year starting next week. Everything starts from scratch, and now we're in control of what happens from here on in. Can no longer blame the previous setup. So what I'm trying to do is kind of set those relationships with hiring managers.
Right.
So that way I can loosen up the pressure. There are some places that don't require resumes for the clients, and the client doesn't even need to speak English. So I'm like, all right, great. But that's not every client.
Right.
So there is pressure, and, I don't like to work under those circumstances because I feel like it takes the joy out of what you do. And you're just placing a number on a person. Like, you don't care where they go. And there's not even a career track. So, for instance, if somebody comes over, had they been a career training program they can get into, enroll for 3 to 4 months, and then there's an employment services part of it too for job search, then we have 5 to 6 months to find them a job, right? There are programs out there that offer like that. CET, Center for Employment Training down in downtown.
Yeah.
So could that establishment, like that relationship happen, that collaboration? Sure can. But they don't see it that way. So it adds more pressure to me to go out there, right? I will sometimes take clients out to go job search. What I'm going to do now is just take a bunch to the mall.
Yeah.
And let's look at all these places that are hiring, fill out an app online, paperwork right now, and see what happens, right? So, yeah, man, there is pressure, and I wouldn't say it's good pressure, but I guess it keeps me on my toes.
Yeah. Because, I mean, of course, not to say, like, within therapy, we're not trying to meet a quota of yes, we have to meet goals. We don't end up where we wanted to or we anticipated. That's fine. But for you guys, it seemed like it was more so of, if you miss your mark, the county is going to defund you. There's going to be more pressure. This is taxpayer money. You can't produce results. Yeah, we're not really inclined to keep you. And in a sense, that creates a even greater pressure for then either people to then, like you said, I'm going to treat this client like a number. That could push people to be a little less compassionate, or even the opposite end. All right, then I really need to get these numbers up. I need to, like with you tactfully adapting to the situation, making more connections, so at least it's easier, or at least you have more awareness, or you have better connections. Or some people may say, hey, you know what, I'm going to stay after hours until they burn out, and then they're like...
Yeah, I mean, that could certainly be the case. There's a quota that's going to be met, that has to be met. I fight with the line of how much self-sufficiency do you try to provide a client?
Yeah.
And how much hands-on work do you provide? Because if you're providing all of it, then I think all that overwhelming piece is gonna it's just gonna destroy you. For myself, it'll destroy me. Doing so much for this one client. I feel like in therapy, you can speak on this, that you're in control of what happens, right? So for me, it's like, yeah, you're in a new area. Yeah, you don't know a lot. That's fine. I'll help you get there. I'll tell you and here's some resources, but I'm not going to do everything for you.
Right.
Right. So being very upfront, straight up with them, for me, it's the best way to go. I don't like to sugarcoat things with the clients and then go from there. But yeah, man, I mean, it's a tough position to be in if you got numbers to meet all the time, every month. And there's not even that. There's an hourly wage they have to try to meet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, forget that you're unskilled in something, right? You might be with the minimum 15. No, we got to get them an extra $1.50, $16.50, the average. That's what the average has to be, like, to be above.
Wow.
So it's like
an additional quota.
I mean, yeah. So it's not only just placing them, but it's like, all right, how much are you? This company's gonna be willing to place this person at and give them.
So place them, then you got dollar amount, and then it's retention. Like they have to stay
there. Oh
there.
yeah, 100%. 90 days.
Ah, God bless.
90 days, man. 3 months. Yep. And we got to follow up with them. So after 30 days, we got to follow up, see how they're doing. 60 days. You know, but the thing is that we don't, if they elect to stay open, we don't close them out automatically. The clients can choose whether they want to close their case or not. So if they can keep it, if they choose to keep it open, they meet the 90 days, but they decide to quit for some reason, they can come back and
start all over.
That's the repetitive part that just kind of grinds your gears a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that happens all the time.
Fun of the job. So then what keeps you going? How are you able to balance all this? How are you not burning your candle at two ends?
I'm not. Well, listen, man. It's kind of hard to say I'm not burning my candles at two ends. I got a lot going on. But I just try to stay positive about everything I'm doing. I think what I'm involved with, work-wise, school-wise, personal life, I'm finding a good balance between it all. You know, there are times in the work day that I can, you know, take my mind off of something else and focus on something else. That way I'm not bringing anything home after hours. So, yeah, man, I'm just trying to find my small wins throughout the day and just kind of get my energy going. And, hey, I got to get this done, you know. If I commit to something, in my firm belief, like, if I commit something, I got to do a little bit each day to kind of get it going. That way I don't overwhelm myself at the end of the week or at the end of the work day. So a little bit a day, whether if I'm reading, writing, or actually doing an assignment, it helps me get through the day.
Exactly. Hey, one day at a time.
Not to mention, man, you know, my daughter.
Yep.
Right. So
that was going to be the final question.
You know, I gotta
know.
I got to see her every 2 weeks.
Yep.
So, and it's not even in the area that I'm living in. I got to commute.
Yep.
I got to go. And, you know, spend time with my daughter is the most beautiful thing I can ask for. You know, things aren't in my favor at the moment, you know, but it'll eventually get there. And I knew with everything that I have to deal with that my relationship with my daughter means the most to me. So I need to collect myself. I need to not think about the past and the things that have happened. So just looking forward to the future. And yeah, man. So yeah, I do got a lot. I'm committed to a lot. You know, I'm in a relationship at the moment, so that's another piece of keeping me going, engaged, and busy.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, man. That's it right now. Oh my God. And I still find time to watch football.
Yeah, Giants are doing pretty well. Not getting rid of Danny Jones just yet.
Oh man, that's a whole nother. But listen, man, I don't make the decision, so we just gotta roll with the punches. But yeah, I mean, it's a good start, 2-1. You know, last game, but it's good to see Saquon back and doing his thing.
Exactly. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Of course, check out that link tree at Linktree.
Yes, sir.
/therapy_house. Check out all our links. Check out our platforms. Keep checking out the podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Peace.
Later.